Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Sabba Show, and today we've got round 20 of the Dice Footy Championships. The finals race is heating up. We are reaching the pointy end of the season. A few teams in there. I mean, there's some big games coming up for them in this round. You can see all those teams stacking up on 10 wins. Basically, it's a queue for the finals. So you got to take the opportunity when it presents itself. But if you enjoyed this one, drop a like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right in. First game of the round is one of those games that I was referring to as extremely important. It is Fremantle taking on Melbourne. Both sides are on 10 wins. Essentially an 8-point fixture right here, and the D's get off to a very positive start. They are up by 9 points at quarter time, second quarter. Dockers not good enough by them, not good enough at all. And the D's, well, their quarter was marginally better. They do hold a pretty decent lead in halftime, or at halftime. And third quarter is much better by Fremantle. They pick up the pace just a little bit. And the D's, well, they actually trail after a very good first half. They've been thoroughly let down by that third quarter. Last quarter by the Dockers, they storm home with a very, very good second half. 10 goals involved. And the D's, well, let's have a look. They are 14 goals, 20. Oh my goodness. They have picked up a 1-point win after the game was tied at three-quarter time. D's win, amazingly enough, by a solitary point. That game absolutely delivered in terms of impact, performance, whatever you want to say. 1-point win, but this is another game. This is another game where two teams are on 10 wins. Mind you, the Power have a draw in hand, but they have started off, you know, like the team that should be in 10th position, not in 5th position. And while the Pies, you know, they have started very impressively. Very impressively. The Power need to get going here sooner rather than later. Otherwise, they leave, you know, a very big opportunity on the table, you know, to, you know, ensure they solidify a spot in the top 8. Because, you know, every win is valuable at this point of the year. The Power have, you know, fought back into this contest very well. They only trail by 5 points, have been down at every change, and they could potentially be picking up what is a much needed win here. Here we go. The Power, yep, they've got it. And they were inaccurate, but they, you know, saved the best for last, and they win this one. Next up is the Sydney Derby. This game has, well, there's not a lot on the line, to be honest. Sydney have, you know, just slowly been trending downward all season long. Honestly, they need a win just for their confidence. Obviously, in Dice Footy, confidence doesn't exist. It is all luck-based, but we're saying it anyway just to make it as realistic a simulation as possible. They look like they're on track for a very big win here. They lead by a commanding 42 points at halftime. This could get ugly really quickly. They've already kicked 16 goals, 16 in 3 quarters of footy. So, you know, they are, you know, not letting anything go to waste here. And while the Giants, you know, a much better third quarter by their standards, but they still trail by a massive margin. And the Swans, well, they'll be disappointed that they, you know, probably left a few points out there, but they are still picking up a big win nonetheless. They will be getting the victory by about 53 points. We have another game which has huge implications for St Kilda. They need to win this game as well. Obviously, there's been some other results that, you know, have sort of made the importance of them winning this game a little bit larger. They haven't started very well, though, so this could be a huge roadblock in their way to finals. Here we go. That was a much better quarter by them, though. And the Hawks, well, they have started like a team that should not be in the position they are currently in on the ladder, sitting at 13th. Obviously, you know, one of those mediocre parts of the table. You're not making finals, you're not qualifying for high draft picks. Hawthorn will be trailing at three-quarter time. They started strongly, but they have just fizzled out quite a bit in the last couple of quarters. But the Saints have left the door potentially open, slightly ajar for Hawthorn to capitalise and pounce. Here we go, and they have won the game, I do believe. 3 goals for will see them pick up the victory over St Kilda. That is a huge game to lose. Alright, and now we've got the first team in the league versus the last placed team in the league. It is the Bulldogs taking on Geelong. And, well, the Bulldogs have had top spots sewn up for quite a bit at the moment. However, this first quarter is, you know, quite surprising, to be honest. Geelong haven't been the worst, you know, last place side in history, but they haven't been very good. They've won 5 games, though. So, you know, they've done something. They've won a few games here and there. You know, they haven't left their fans completely in the dust. But at the moment, they are absolutely flying. I don't think anyone saw this one coming. And the Bulldogs, well, they look in a pretty dire position. I think this game's already over. I'm pretty sure it's already completed before the last quarter was even played. And Geelong are going to knock off the top place side in what is a serious twist, a serious turn of events. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't, you know, a huge win, but they did it pretty convincingly regardless. 38-point winners. So Geelong pick up an amazing win, and let's see if Adelaide can repeat the dose against the Carlton Footy Club. Well, now they're on the bottom of the ladder, and they will be looking to get a win to ensure that, you know, it doesn't remain that way. However, they haven't started in the most positive fashion. Here we go, second quarter. Not awful by the Crows. It is an improvement on the first, but the Blues, I mean, they've had a pretty iffy second half to the season, and they lead at halftime, but, you know, haven't really shut the door on a win. They've let the Crows right back into this game, and the Blues, well, they do lead, but that lead has slowly been dwindling for the best part of 2 quarters. Last quarter by the Crows is... well, it's all right. The Blues need 3 goals, 1 to win. They got to keep their finals hopes alive, and they do that quite successfully. They win this one by an even 3 goals, and they are back in the finals hunt. And we have another very important clash. It is Gold Coast taking on the Eagles. Gold Coast start off pretty mid. The Suns really need a win because they're only 1 win ahead of all those teams on 10 wins. So, you know, this win is pretty imperative for them. The Eagles have been absolutely flying recently. So, obviously, they'll be desperate for another win to solidify their top 4 hopes, top 4 chances. And they do lead at halftime, but it was really some inaccurate goal kicking that sent them there. And third quarter by the Suns is not good. Eagles are still trying to lose this game, but I mean, yeah, this hasn't been one that's resembled a top 4 clash by any means. The Suns are going to lose it. I mean, they had an abysmal second half, 2 goals, 11, and the Eagles will win, and they do all the hard work in the last quarter to ensure there is absolutely no chance of a Suns win. Second last game, and we've got one with quite a few less implications than, you know, a couple other games we've had this round. Richmond take on Brisbane. Richmond will be looking just, you know, to get a little bit of self-esteem. The Lions, well, West Coast have now won more games than them, so they really need to pick up this win to ensure, you know, they, you know, don't lose a grasp on those top 4 positions that they have, you know, been positioned in for the best part of the season. Right now, they are not playing well. Not at all. And Richmond, I mean, this is a round of upsets. I mean, it's looking very much that way. Brisbane luckily had a very big third quarter. It looked like they were gone for all money. They're only down by 4 goals. They are still in the game. However, their last quarter was not good enough. Very leaky. And Richmond, well, they're getting a win. And the Lions, I mean, they had a big second half themselves in terms of scoring, but they just couldn't let the goals out or keep the goals out. Richmond, surprise, surprise, they win. Last game of the round is Essendon taking on North Melbourne. Here we go. North also need to win. You know, obviously we've seen a lot of sides win around them on the ladder, so a lot of pressure, some mounting for them to also pick up the 4 points in this contest. The Bombers, well, they were in a similar situation to Carlton. You know, they need a win to, you know, sort of stay in touch. They are a couple wins outside the 8th, so they need to, you know, start, you know, ticking along right about now. Only a month left before finals in the Dice Footy Championship, so a little bit more urgency needed from them. They are losing, and it doesn't look like they will be picking up the victory. I mean, obviously it's too early to, you know, make the call, but the Bombers, well, they haven't done enough, simply put. And yeah, North Melbourne are going to get the win, and I mean, they have been the specialists in kicking 20 goals this season. They do it again and they win by about 40. Alright, so this is the ladder as it currently stands. You can see the results and the ladder as per usual. I described this round as a round that didn't have much movement, but sets up a lot of movement for next week. You can see the Blues coming back into the finals picture. Sydney with a big win, potentially, you know, have just re-elevated their hopes of making finals. They're going to need a pretty big run, but, you know, it's still possible. Geelong off the bottom of the ladder again. West Coast taking second position off Brisbane. Gold Coast falling back into the logjam once again. So it really sets up what is going to be one heck of a final 3 weeks in the regular season. Hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like and subscribe, you know the deal. Every Thursday at 4 p.m. But yeah, that's it from me. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.